Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to another stream with S1REN from Offensive Security. If you are watching this on YouTube and would like to skip straight to the walkthrough, you can jump ahead about 20 minutes and that's when we'll begin. I'm just gonna go ahead and correct this real quick. Should say online. And we'll have this say SkyTower, because that is today's box. SkyTower, I see people are joining already. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the endpoint to download. If you want to go ahead and download the virtual machine, that is the purpose behind why we start this early, so that everybody can trickle in and get the machine, get it loaded into VirtualBox, grab the IP, export the environment variable, and you're good to go. If you have any questions during this 20 minutes about offensive security or about myself, feel free to ask. And if you are late or anything like that, don't worry. This will all be recorded and thrown up on our YouTube channel. If you're unfamiliar and you're just tuning in, we are Offensive Security, and we educate east to west. Penetration testing and penetration testing services. We provide a numerous amount of certifications, which are industry leading. So we're glad to have you. If you have any questions, again, go ahead and put them in the chat. Welcome, Odinger75. Glad to have you, buddy. Mojo Dojo 101 today is, and I will paste it again. I'll just paste it periodically. That is the machine that we're doing today. It's actually one of my top 5 machines of all time. And I think it's got 2 very important lessons to teach. If you are new and you have no idea what the heck this is, feel free to tell your friends. We do this every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, we'd love to have them on board. I see now we're getting people in. 30 people. It is growing. It is growing, it is growing. If you're trickling in now, the machine that we are doing today is SkyTower. It's one of my top 5s. Welcome, Angel D. Welcome, welcome. Voice of Grog. Welcome back, all of you. And this machine, SkyTower, is particularly interesting to me. It was one of my top 5 favorite machines of all time, and I think it has a couple of core concepts that you guys will value. So sit back, relax, and enjoy it. We'll be starting here in about 15 more minutes. And for the next 15 minutes, we'll be taking questions. I see we have a first-time chat from VRPKL. Welcome, PKL. It's lovely to have you. And hopefully you can stick around. We'll be starting in about 15 minutes. Welcome Green Jam 94. Hey, hey. Nicholas. Welcome back, guys. Glad to have you again. Make sure to go ahead and tell your friends. Now's the time to download it if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and paste it. If you do want to follow along with S1REN, you can go ahead and download it there. And we'll walk through it as a community. If you're unfamiliar with how we do this, I will take community suggestions and equate them to attack vectors towards the target machine. And just doing so, we will notate everything that we learn and kind of just get into it. Is the link broken? I don't think so. No, the link is not broken. It's just the way we kind of do things there for a reason. We're hacking live, first time chatter. It is not broken. If you copy the whole thing with the comma 96 and a trailing / indication, then it should load. For those of you not familiar with VulnHub, VulnHub is one of the very powerful resources that Offensive Security owns, that we own here, alongside the exploit database and Metasploit, so on and so forth. Google hacking database. Welcome, first time chat from Therox. Glad to have you. But no, it should definitely come up. If it does not come up for you, that's no problem. Just Google this right here, SkyTower, right? And put that like SkyTower VulnHub, and it should be the first link. This one, I don't think you can readily just import. You actually have to create a new machine. I believe it's Debian. May want to check the instructions, but you're going to have to load up the machine itself from the disk settings inside VirtualBox and assign it, but just creating a new one rather than directly importing. Yellowfin says, first time chat, what type of virtual machine is it? It is a vulnerable machine. This VM is a vulnerable machine that we will be attacking and enumerating out today, learning a cool few new tricks, hopefully, and doing it alongside the community, really with the community. The community is going to be the one doing it, and so on and so forth. If my microphone is good, please let me know, because I just moved out, got a new desk, and not out of my house, but into a different room, and if there's any peeking, please let me know. Sounds great? Okay, cool. That's 2 people confirming it sounds good. Roger that. So, happy Friday. If no one wants to ask any questions, that's okay. I will start off some conversation. Just to anybody, I see we have more people trickling in. The reason we start these a little bit early is kind of like we want to treat it like a conference, right? You give people in the audience time to sit down, grab a cup of coffee, use the restroom if they may, open up their notes. In this case, it would be installing the VM into VirtualBox and launching that. So we want to give people ample time to be able to download and import the machine. Happy Friday, XX Unknown XX. Welcome, buddy. Welcome back, actually. And first time chat from Euroxian. Welcome back, Euroxian. Actually, that'd be a first time chat. Excuse me. I am brain dead after today. So hopefully this goes smoothly. If you are new to the stream and you're seeing us pop up, we are officially partnered with Twitch.tv under Science and Technology, and that's exactly where I think it belongs, justly so. So if you're new and you have, been lurking for a while, you're Oxian, well, if there are any other lurkers, feel free to chat. Even if you have no idea what this is, we are offensive security. We are pretty much the leaders in proactive cybersecurity, or in the proactive cybersecurity industry, with performance-based examinations and pretty much unparalleled certifications, research, development, you name it. So security runs in our blood, in our bones. And what we do on these streams is we get people prepared for their OSCP, that's short for Offensive Security Certified Professional certification. And if people are looking to get their feet wet into actual information security, then this is a great place to start. In fact, you are in the right place. I assure you of that. Black Socks, welcome back, Black Socks. Glad to have you, and happy Friday. Man, this weekend, I know I say this all the time, but that's because I love my work, and if you enjoy your work and you're having fun, they say time flies when you are having fun, so these weeks just fly by. Rid Afma says, I tried my hands on VMware and explored Kali Linux a bit, but I had no idea how to use the tools, so here I am observing how the pros do it. Well, welcome, Rita. Welcome very much. And as I said earlier, you are in the right place, my friend. So even if you don't know how to import things or work with virtual machine yet, this will be a great stepping stone, if you will. And DTH, welcome back, DTH. Hello, dears. Hello, hello. I see we have another 20 people. Welcome to those 20 additional. We'll be studying a machine called SkyTower today. This one is one of my top 5 of all time. And just because of how fun it is. There's a link to it, and if you can't access it for some reason, even if you copy and paste the /96 then you can just go ahead and Google SkyTower on VulnHub and download it from there and import it into VirtualBox. First time chat from Wayav. Welcome, Wayav. Welcome, welcome. JX Crow says, hello, Siren. Hello, JX Crow. Good to see you. Good to see you. Anybody planning on going to DEF CON 30? I know I am. Yellowfin says, I think there were some problems with VirtualBox and Windows 11. So I had to uninstall VirtualBox a few months ago, just installed the latest version on Windows 11, and it seems to work fine, just in case anyone else had similar concerns. Akis says hello. JX Crow says likewise. Maya Coet, yeah, if I had the money and lived in the United States. And Alfred, what's your all-time favorite machine? Wow. Probably Stapler. Probably Stapler. I think we have Stapler on YouTube. I'll have to check. But we're trying to get all these archived, man. Gotta get these things archived. Tranquil Rage says, new V-Box broke my install. Oh no. Green Jam 94, oh man. Already time to plan DEF CON. Time flies, doesn't it? Doesn't it? We're like, what, 4 months away from DEF CON? Maybe 5? Rough math. Yeah, DEF CON in Vegas. I'd love to see you guys there. You know I'll be there. I think I was on DEF CON TV at the last DEF CON 29, congratulating the Red Team Village there. We had some people at the Red Team Village that were competing for 90 days of the AWAE course access, which is Advanced Web Attacks and Exploitation. It's a course very dear to my heart, of course, no pun intended, but I went ahead and congratulated all of them. I spend most of my time at the Packet Hacking Village. If you guys want to catch me there, that's where I'll be. Dude, DEF CON 29 was a blast. I loved it. We had some great badges, like a lot of great collector's items. We had some pretty awesome parties, personally, I think. And I was staying at the Bally's in Vegas. Euroxian says, haven't been to DEF CON yet, hopefully. After I get the OSCP, I can finally get sent there. Really want to visit the lockpicking section, yes. If you're going to DEF CON, even if you don't know anything about physical penetration testing, stopping by the lockpicking village is a must. It is a must. I mean, I've seen everything from like car doors just put up against a wall. Like they got a whole bunch of stuff there, and it's really fun. Usually the Packet Hacking Village, I'm one of the people that helps with the Packet Hacking Village. Actually, I volunteer. And last time we were right next to the Car Hacking Village, and they had some incredible showcase. I will never forget the prize for the Car Hacking Village was basically that if you successfully hacked one of, like, I think it was like a new Tesla. I don't remember the model, but if you successfully hacked it, you got to take, if you were the first in the Capture the Flag, the CTF, to hack the car, to grease it, you actually won the car. That was your prize. And as is DEF CON tradition and culture tradition, the person who wins the car has to take a sledgehammer to to any spot of their choosing and smash it and leave something substantial behind to always remember DEF CON and the time that they greased that car. It was pretty fun. I hear Black Hat was also very good. Black Hat USA. Isn't that fun? Tranquil Rage? It's so cool, man. JX Crow, yeah, no, it was awesome. Basically, if you greased the car, you won it, and the CTF if you were the first to, and then they were like, chanting, smash it, smash it. Or, maybe some 4-letter expletives were thrown in there. But a sledgehammer was taken to the car, and the guy did drive it out of Bally's Hotel. That's the cool part about being at the Packet Hacking Village, man. That's where all the parties are. We throw parties at Packet Hacking Village. We also got the Wall of Sheep up there. It's a lot of good fun. Nonetheless, guys, it is 5 p.m., and as is my promise, that is when we start. So, are you guys ready to hack SkyTower? Because I'm ready to hack the SkyTower, my friends. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to swap over my source. And we're going to echo out. You'll see I have my machine, SkyTower, my directory for it. And we're going to echo out the IP, and we're also going to echo out the URL. I already have my IP ready to go, and a /fuzz for wfuzz, given that there's anything on 80, just a bit of habit. So we're going to load up nmap, as always, -p 65,535 ports, -sv to perform a TCP banner grab or service version check, and also -sc. For simple scripts, we're going to run that against the target IP on --open. Now --open is going to basically say, and this is a useful one for the real world, because sometimes this can take quite a long time, --open will say, I don't want filtered or closed, I only want open. So we're going to let that go. We'll copy it and paste it into our notes here. And it was the same for me, but there we go. And we'll move this over so we have a little bit more screen space. And I will paste the nmap results down here in this section. And we'll start highlighting things. Once I've highlighted all the ports available to us, we'll place them up here and begin collecting community attack vectors. In fact, I need to really work on my template here. Community attack vectors. Our to-try list, right? However many are there. And it's done. Looks like we only have 2 ports. Oddly enough, at first glance, it looks like we have 2 ports. So I'm going to copy this, and we're going to bring it over into nmap. I'm going to go under nmap, paste it in. Do a little bit of highlighting, because the reason I do a lot of highlighting is because I like things to stand out over time, and, you know, work on how quickly I can enumerate the critical aspects of a system, like Debian here. And also, aside from that, it's just a good habit to get in, because although we only have a little bit of notation here, there are machines that can have, you know, a dozen ports or more, and therefore, you know, like you can have a lot of white text just to scroll through. No. Take advantage of the highlighting feature, go through it. That way when you're, you know, if you go down a rabbit hole and you come back, then there's no worries. We have Sqli HTTP proxy 3.1.20, Apache 2.2.22 Debian, which is not that bad. It's pretty standard. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the Mac, Oracle Box, virtual NIC. There we go. And we'll put the ports up here. So we only have 2. We have 80 corresponding to HTTP protocol. And can I get the arrow, please? There we go. And port 3128, which corresponds to Squid HTTP. And I should put this over here on the left side of the arrow. I'm going to highlight these, and then I'd like... So, I mean, we can visit this in the browser. We can see what's going on. And that is probably what I'll do on 3128. But I'd like a lot of attack vectors on port 80, please. What do we have? What would you guys like to do with your template for CT is available on GitHub or anywhere. It's in Discord if you check out Wireside Text. Thank you, Falcon Spy. Correct. Yes, it is there. So what are some types of attacks that we would expect for preliminary enumeration, guys? Just think in your minds, this is preliminary. This is very, very straight out. wfuzz, okay, I like it. Fuzzing or busting for directories and files. Obviously, that is one of the main things that comes to mind. What's another thing that might come to mind? What's another thing? Opening the browser, manual inspection of the source code. So view the source, Luke. View the source, Luke. Nicto, okay. Nicto is another one. Remember, just preliminary tools. Preliminary tools, guys. I'm actually going to break this down, I think. Since we'd only have 2 ports, I can make it, kind of like that, I think that looks good. What else do we have? Nikto. Oh, as far as derb is concerned, XX unknown, we actually already have that up here. We have fuzzing and busting, right? Fuzzing, busting directories. We'll say in parentheses we could use GoBuster, derb, dirbuster, or my personal, you can use fuff, or you can use wfuzz, which is my personal favorite. We're going to be going with wfuzz today. And what web? Okay, absolutely. What web? I'm going to drop that one for today, but let's see, because we have another first-time chat. OSman PC says, hello, course beginner to advanced, available offensive security or not? We have the 100 level, I almost said certifications, but they're not. They're not certifications in the formal sense of the word. They're a way for people who are interested in this field to kind of get into it. So busting subdomains, okay. Busting subdomains. Always make sure your scope is covered with stakeholders and in the ROE, rules of engagement, with that one. Anything else? I think we're good here. Falcon Spy says, Felicia, nmap NSE scripts for HTTP. Okay, I like that. That's more what I was looking for. So we have some nmap, I'll say NSE scripts, a few that we can run, right? With when we see 80, we have definitely a few that we can run. And let's see here. If port 80 only, for example, default Apache login. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good for now. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to echo out the URL. We have HTTP, our IP, target IP, at least, the victim IP, on port 80/fuzz. I'm going to open up a new terminal and just export it in here, because I'm going to do two things kind of simultaneously. And we're going to go here. I'm going to use my common, and then don't worry, I'm going to explain what this does. So we're going to check for files here, and we're also going to check for directories down here, which means I'm going to need to add a trailing /. Remember, when you're fuzzing directories, you really should add that trailing /. It's not always required, but it's better to be on the safe side. So what we're going to do is up our arrow here, and wfuzz is going to say, we're saying to wfuzz we want color. -c, the file input method or data input method, is a file, and that's going to be stored in opt, seclist, discovery, web content, raft large files.txt. We're going to exclude erroneous responses because we don't want those. So any 404s, that is page not found, that comes back, let's get rid of those. I only want stuff that's either found, redirected, whatever. Anything, quite frankly, other than a 404. So we'll let that go. And the same applies to this. We're going to go ahead and let it go on here. Notice the only difference here is that we have raft large directories.txt. And we'll let that go as well. Oh, what did we not specify? Export. Oh, I said IP. I should have got that. Now that we have our IP, or excuse me, our URL, you can tell it's been a long day. We go ahead and drop the wfuzz and just start seeing what we get back. Let me check the chat in the meantime. I see we have 85 viewers now. Welcome, everybody. Croman is here. Welcome, Croman, my friend. Welcome, welcome. I believe Falcon Spy, aka Felicia, will go ahead and answer any questions that I do not get to. And thank you very much, Falcon, or should I say Felicia, for doing that. Let's see here. If I understand, you're saying, I think you're wrong. This would be a CMS on port 80. Oh, that was a reply. Okay. Gotcha. For those of you not aware, Falcon Spy may also do streaming if he chooses. He's very, very busy. He works kind of like two jobs. Works for us part-time here at Offensive Security, and we thank him very much for all the hard work that he does. But sometimes he will also stream. We'll see if maybe he can pick that up again, maybe not. It's up to him. But if you're curious who Falcon Spy is, he is also one of our community managers on Discord. See, there it is, confirmed. Going to start streaming again. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So our files are done here. Our files are done here. I'm going to drop all these 403s just because I don't want any of that erroneous output. I'm going to copy up through here, and we're going to go back to our notes. Back to our notes. Files on /. And let me bring down the font size here. There we go, so it's more legible. And there we are. So we have a login.php, which will stand no chance, and an htaccess, which is also a 403 actually, and an index.html. Did we find any hidden directories? It looks like we got server status, which is forbidden, icons, and CGI bin, but nonetheless, just for our sanity as testers, let's say, you know, that's off the checkbox, you know? Let's go ahead and drop that in here. Even though it's a 403 forbidden, I'm going to highlight that. You know, that's a 403 forbidden. We're not going to be able to access that, but that doesn't mean, like, for example, if I received back something like docs, and it was a 403 forbidden, and I knew that there were PDFs on the website based on the front-facing web application, I could still fuzz /docs, you know, and then file names like fuzz.pdf, and that would be accessible. So definitely don't discredit, just because the directory listing is forbidden, don't discredit. It's still meaningful information. Yes, JXCrow. It is still meaningful information. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get Nikto up just for the sake of thoroughness. Let's grab Nikto. I'm going to re-export my URL. Where are we here? Let's echo IP. I'm going to copy it, export the URL to equal HTTP on port 80 / no fuzz being provided this time. And then we're going to Nikto. And basically, I'll just do this manual. We got Nikto -- host on URL -C for checks, and we're going to perform all checks. Great. So that's going along, and everything is working fine. It looks like we have verified the web technology to be PHP. We haven't even opened our web browser yet. And look at what we've gotten back, just so much. So our web technology is confirmed. PHP, it's looking like 5.4.4. Again, double confirmation of Debian as our target machine. I see that we have get, head, post, and options. Allowing post data like that tells me the potentiality, just the potentiality for a web application that is substantial and utilizes post requests is probably a likelihood. It's a likelihood, not guarantee, but it did find login.php. Trusty Nikto. And by trusty, I mean you never know, because it can be full of false positives. But it's still nice. Still nice. So we're going to bring Nikto up here, and I'm going to highlight this line. And you know what? We'll just leave that as is. It can just sit there, as far as I'm concerned. And so that's done. Community suggestion is complete. Manual inspection, we have not gotten there. Fuzzing is complete. And busting subdomains. So if we have reason to believe, if I visit the web page and I see something like ahref is equal to http, and then we get SkyTower, I'll know that the FQDN, or fully qualified domain name, is SkyTower, right? Fantastic. So that kind of information is useful, but we don't have an FQDN verification. That is to say, we don't know if the web application that was designed, and I'm intentionally not opening the web browser, by the way. I really want to nail home how much we can get just from preliminary enumeration before we get into the weeds. We have nmap NSE scripts. What about that, you know? What if we want to check HTTP methods? Let's do nmap on port 80 at the target IP -- actually before this. This would be -- script equal HTTP methods. And again, what do we notice? Supported methods. Get, head, post, and options. Now, Nikto took care of this for us. But in our situation here, we're looking pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead, and in case anybody has any extra ones that they would like to add, then yeah. One other thing I wanted to put here is to check for robots, guys, even if it's not coming back from NICDO. Like, let's check for robots in our manual. I did not see that one, but you know, that DS store, you know, SVN entries, those kinds of things we just want to be aware of. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this IP, and let's load it up together into the web browser and see what we get. SkyTech login. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave this here and I'm going to start looking at the chat. What do you guys think we should be doing here? Remember, this is one of my top 5 favorite machines of all time. So, I see default credentials. In fact, we're going to go under takeaway concepts. We came across a login form. What are some things? Don't worry, I will be posting this. Our notes from all of this, I will be posting into the Wireside text channel when we are done. So if you want to learn about any of the, I mean, I've never not done one with takeaway concepts, and if I did miss one, I apologize deeply because that's just not my style. I want you guys to have something to take away, to learn, to add to your armament, to add to your armory. So let's see here. I got people suggesting SQLI, default creds. What are things we want to test for? Yes, default credentials. I think that was the first one I saw. SQL injection, absolutely. And oh, someone said let's go ahead and check for robots. I don't see why not. Not found. All right, so we did check that. And for the sake of completion, I'm going to put that is done. What are some other things for the login form? Input validation, absolutely. Could we be a little more specific on input validation? What type of attacks are we going for if we're going to be sending malicious input into some form? One second. Okay, so broken authentication, SSTI, server-side template injection. Absolutely. SSTI. SSTI. What else might we say? Authentication bypass. Can I add my own? Authentication bypass. All in, you know, in and of itself. And my favorite one. Yes, I saw that from 2 people. Error message. Username enumeration. What does error message username enumeration look like? Let's just say enumeration. And under this, I want to add a note like something akin to user Bob does not exist, or incorrect password, right? For user Bob. These kinds of things tell us as attackers that Bob is a valid user on the machine, or in the CMS, web application, what have you. And that's incredibly useful information, which takes us to a different type of attack. What about brute forcing? What about brute forcing? If we want to brute force, combining that, chaining that type of attack with enumerated data, like gathered from error message username enumeration, that is to say, a proper error message, for anybody watching, might be something like incorrect login information or incorrect login information provided. This would be a proper version of an error message. Incorrect login information provided, right? That would be proper. Does anybody know why? Why is this this incorrect login information provided? Why is something like that a proper type of error message when logging in? Exactly. Yellowfin hit it first. Rod Cali, JX Crow. It does not specify or leak any information. It's almost, I want to say ambiguous. I might even be getting that word wrong entirely. But the point is, it doesn't vary in response length. If I provide an incorrect user, an incorrect password, or any possible combination in and thereof, it's only just going to spit back incorrect login information provided, right? As opposed to saying this user doesn't exist. So these are, but you would be so surprised. One of the reasons one of my favorite is because when it comes to brute forcing, it takes 50% of the equation out of it. What else is another thing that we might be able to do with a login form? Yep, let's put on our thinking caps. No SQL injection. Okay, I'll put it down. Absolutely. Rare cases, rare instances, but no SQL. Okay. Okay. And anything else we can think of? What about cross-site request forgery? Can I add myself as an administrator? A cross-origin attack? Can I perform any cross-origin attacks? When it comes to more logins, yes, now they're flooding in session attacks. Session writing, as it's commonly called. Or essentially stealing a valid session ID for a valid user that is actually logged in. Now, how do we do that? That's going to be through something like XSS. But session writing, absolutely. Clickjacking, why not? It takes a form of input. I see no reason why not, unless X-frame options is set. And my cat just pushed my glasses off the table. I do love that cat. All right, I think that's plenty for login forms today. But show the cat maybe another day, maybe another time. But one other thing I want to say for incorrect or error message username enumeration, aka just incorrect error messages, is this applies to forgot password as well. 100%. 100%. It applies to that as well. So let's go ahead and test for some default credentials. It says it wants an email. Admin. Login failed. No password. My cat is telling me he's hungry. I'm hungry too. Login failed with default creds. So that did not work. What are some other things that we might be able to do? Do we have SSTI? Something like, just a quick test, 7x7. Do we have any templates going on here? Negative. What else? What else might we have here, guys? It wants an email. What if we say admin@admin.local? Provide it some kind of email syntax, admin. Still just login failed. So we do not have error message username enumeration. Sqli, absolutely. So let's just toss in a single apostrophe, right? And that did not work. To grave misfortune. That did not work, guys. What else might we be able to do? Are we going to give up? What are we going to do? Our motto is not give up, it's try harder. So, let's try the classic, I see a lot of people saying, admin apostrophe or 1 equals 1. Hey, kitties, stop it now. My cats like to play rough. I do not know why. Let's go ahead and toss that in there. Okay, so we got something. Good. Now let's check out the error. We got verbose error messages back from this. Verbose error messages. That is, what type of Sqli is this? It's verbose. If we did not receive error messages, what type of Sqli would it be? Exactly. PL4G, it would be blind. But this is error-based or verbose Sqli. Correct, and correct to all the people in the chat. Good job. We're learning things. See, I mean, you just keep sticking around with OffSec. We're gonna drill this in until it's second nature. Turn you into the Navy SEALs of Kraken. So, what do we not see here? What is not present in this query? Actually, I think burp, try to hack is actually correct. Let's load this up. And we will send this to the repeater. Forward that along. Let's go to repeater and send it and see what we get. Okay. There was an error, etc. MySQL Server version right next to 1.1. Something's happening here. Can anybody tell me what is happening with our authentication bypass attempt? Because that is what this is. SQL injection is indicative, but a wireless access firewall. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Can anybody tell me some, I don't know, bypass methods for these types of things? It's not a wireless access firewall, but it is something else. Not hexadecimal, not a C-style comment, not tamper. Encode with hex. Negative. Sanitization. Okay. So we're getting somewhere. Let's actually load our query up into our notes and take a look. What did we send along? This or 1 equals 1 termination statement. And we received back this error message. Let's copy this and bring it over so it's a little more legible for everybody. I like the quality of the streams to be pretty nice. So this was our attack. This was our attempt at authentication bypass. Authentication bypass. But what's happening? Things are getting what here? What's happening? Almost truncated. S1REN, I want you to know, because of you, I am now in the habit of using your aliases for LS whenever I get a shell on box. Can't live without it. I'm glad to hear it, man. I am glad to hear it. I have many bash aliases for quick reference to, in my mind, just an infinite number of things, and it's always growing. So but back to this. What is going on? But thank you very much. Try to hack. Absolutely. That means a lot to me. Null byte, negative. Negative. So what we're going to do here is take an analysis. It looks like this was dropped, right? Our termination statement was picked up and dropped. And it looks like the OR. So we are missing, this is what we're missing, right? I'm trying to hint at it. The type of, boom. CaliMax 6 hit it. In fact, CaliMax 6 hit it. The correct terminology is Sqli filtering. Sqli filtering is what's happening here. So what we need to do as hackers, as attackers, as ethical intruders, my friends, is we need to find a way to bypass Sqli filtering, or Sqli filtering bypass method. What are some Sqli filtering bypass methods? Well, before we address that, let's go back to our statement. What's being filtered? It looks like the OR is being filtered, right? I think the OR is being filtered. Duplicate filtered terms. I see the OR being filtered. I see our termination statement being filtered. That might be because the OR got filtered. We have no way to confirm or deny that just yet. So an equal sign is also missing. So it looks like pretty much everything up through the termination statement was filtered. Is this the end of the line for us? Do we quit or do we try harder? Man, we never quit. We never quit. Negative. Absolute negative. Meerkat. We do not quit, my friend. We do not quit. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to teach you a little thing, is we're going to go back to Burp Suite. And let's see if I can just decode this for a moment. Was that Control-Shift-U? No, I have totally messed that up. Great. For some reason, I don't know why my Control-Shift-U doesn't work in Burp Suite. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Let me get a new one up. We're going to right-click, convert selection, URL, URL decode. See, it's Control-Shift-U. I don't know why it gets rid of the characters sometimes. I will never know. And we're going to do that over here as well. So we have a more legible workup of what's going on with our SQL injection, more specifically and technically our authentication bypass. What is happening? We talked about it. It is filtering. It's filtering out the ORs. It's filtering out the ORs. What is something that programmatically might not be able to, or might not be, it might not be, the back-end system might not be picking up on it programmatically? Poll ended. How do we prune this web application? SQL injection, 83%. Yes. So, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm seeing or. The answer, my friends. Chroman has it. Euroxian has it. It is a double pipe. What is a double pipe? For anybody who's new and doesn't know much at all about programming, what is a double pipe? What is that? It means an OR. It's a programmatic version of the OR syntax. So OR equals this. You know, you may have something like if empty, like string or something. And so if it's not empty, or, you know, the user's just something, some random thing returns true, or I don't know, is equal to strposi. The point is this. This is the point in my pseudocode. The OR. It's a programmatical operator. An operator is what it's technically concerned as. So we're going to drop this, and we're going to drop, instead of OR in the MySQL syntax, we're going to drop in double pipes. And this is known as Sqli filtering evasion bypass. So we're going to take our payload here. It looks like we have this all lined up, and then we're going to select it. And let's URL encode it for transit. URL encode key characters. And URL encode key characters. And let's send this along. Login failed. What has happened? What has happened? It just didn't even go. Let's go back. I'll tell you what. Let's go back here. And let's try this. Let's try this. Instead of this, we'll have this or equals 1. I promise I'm typing in the same thing. This or 1 equals 1. Termination statement. Haha! It was probably, oh, I was missing something. Thank you, chat. I was probably missing a space. So, we have bypassed the security mechanism that was checking for SQL injection or providing SQLi filtering. We have effectively mitigated the security systems. and penetrated the network. And now we have something here. Welcome, John at SkyTech. As you may know, SkyTech has ceased all international operations. To our long-term employees, we wish to convey our thanks for your dedication and hard work. Unfortunately, all international contracts, including yours, have been terminated. The remainder of your contract and retirement fund, $2, has been paid out in full to a secure account. For security reasons, you must log into the SkyTech server via SSH. Huh. That's kind of curious. Guys, let's go back to our in-map scan. Do you see SSH here? We did a full port sweep, dang it. We did a full port sweep. This is what we did. Full port sweep. SV, SC, target IP -- open. Where is our port 22? Where is our high port that's our hidden? There's no SSH, sir, says Mayagat. There's no SSH. Correct. I'm liking what I'm hearing here. So, but they're saying this. So nonetheless, bling bling, as we say, we have gathered credentials. I'm going to actually LL, and you know I like to have flat files for all the juicy stuff, our loot, users, passwords, hashes, any data that comes back for my files, if we can exfil any files, IDOR, DB, whatever it might be, vulnerabilities that we might find for insecure services. I'm going to nano users. We have a user, John, and we're going to nano passwords. And the password was, here is John. So we have a valid username password combination. Cat users, cat passwords. We have a valid username password combination. Some people say port knocking. Port knock inf F, negative. I like the lateral thinking. I like it though. But we don't have, we do not have any developer left behind port numbers for us to knock on. Some of you have been reading my blog perhaps and see that, and you thought nothing was here. You thought there was no SSH. Well, maybe there's not. But is SSH behind port 3128? You know what? I have a good way of checking. What if we just see if port 3128 accepts HTTP protocol for transit? It does. So we have an error here, but we're definitely connected. We're definitely connected with Sqli HTTP. So let's do a little bit of theory. A little bit of networking. When we look at, netstat-antup, right? What are we going to be looking for? You guys know this already. We're looking for 127.0.0.1. That is anything off of the local machine that is not outwardly facing to the world or other. And there is a cat with his paw on my back. Okay, so 1727. Well, 127.0.0.1 will not work because we do not have SSH. And first off, we're targeting a target machine here. We're not targeting ourselves. Proxy chains, perhaps. I'm going to try something a little bit different. So the first takeaway I want to teach you guys here is this. We're going to talk about the second primary takeaway. Other than login form techniques, attack techniques, we're going to talk about Sqli filtering evasion. Consider programmatic alternatives when performing manual XSS. My goodness, my brain today. Manual Sqli. Programmatic alternatives, my friend. Programmatic. I promise you. So, that's one way to defeat a lot of Sqli filtering. This is also known as authentication. Bypass combined with Sqli filtering evasion. Bypass. So we really had two bypasses here. We're utilizing Sqli to bypass, and we're bypassing the evasion technique as well, just for further clarification. So, with all that done, let's move on to the next port. 3128 or squid proxy. What about the squid proxy on the box? That's exactly what we're going to do, my friend. That's exactly what we're going to do. Squid HTTP. So I'm going to teach you a little trick. If we notice that squid HTTP proxy is running on the target machine, and we have reason to believe that SSH might be there, but not facing outwards to the world, that is any or other, on 0000, but rather 127.0.0.1, what if we could forward out the loopback or local out to 0.0.0.0 or 0.0.0, yeah, or world/other? What if we could do that? That's essentially what we're gonna be doing here with proxy chains. No, not proxy chains. I'm gonna teach you a tool present on Kali Linux called Proxy Tunnel. Proxy Tunnel, guys. So we're gonna type Proxy Tunnel -p at the target IP, and then we're gonna specify the port that's running the proxy service. In this case, it's squid proxy on 3128. So we're going to specify 3128. The next thing is we're going to specify that we want to spawn a daemon on our own local attacking machine. That is literally my instance box here. And what we're going to do is so to do so, we're going to specify with 127.0.0.1 on port as port 22, accessible, let's say 4444. And we're going to cross our fingers. Okay, we hit enter. It appears that nothing has happened. But if we attempt to SSH as our user that what was it, John? Yes, it was John. SSH as John at 127.0.0.1. Guys, we're going down. We're going down. We've utilized Proxy Tunnel to make a rainbow shape. I don't know how else to put that. We made a big old rainbow shape. We're going to be pulling out at one end of the rainbow, the target machine, we're going to be pulling out the local 127.0.0.1 off of best guess enumeration and from our web enumeration that SSH is running. And we're going to be bringing it back down to the ground locally on our own attacking machine. That's the best analogy I can give. So what happens if we try to do this? How are we going to specify a port? Try to hack says -p, okay. I'm in the wrong terminal. -p 4444. And we have the password, right? Cat passwords. Here is John. Isn't that just so nice of them to provide that dev information? Permission denied. Please try again. Was it a lowercase? Someone in chat is saying a lowercase j. Perhaps. It was. It was. Bling, bling. This machine has been compromised. Cha-ching. I can hear it already. Can hear it already. Can hear it already, guys. So I'm going to leave actually this up here for anybody wondering what the heck is going on. We're doing a little bit of voodoo. One person says, how the hell does Proxy Tunnel do that? I think you're getting the point as to why this is one of my favorite machines. It's essentially, I wish I had access to a paint program. I really do. I really, really do. The most I have is notes. In fact, I'm just going to Google a rainbow. And I am going to go to images. Yes, I am doing this on the official stream. A rainbow. In fact, this one might work. So imagine this is our local machine. This little cloud. Okay? Let's imagine that this is our local machine. And this is the target machine. The cloud on the right is the target machine. Okay? What we've done with Proxy Tunnel is made magic happen. Let me cancel this. We've made magic happen. We've essentially established a tunnel from a loopback that is on 127001 on the local machine, because it was not facing. We didn't see it at 0000 in our nmap scan. We saw no SSH, but given our enumeration, we were able to determine that it was there. So to further explain, we used proxy tunnel to access through one of these little rainbow colors here. We accessed 3128, which was Squid HTTP proxy. We said, Squid, we want to funnel out if that port of 65,535 ports, if port 22 is open, can we funnel that back to our machine on 127001? And then what we did is in a separate terminal, we SSH'd down. I wish I could draw an arrow down so bad because we're going from 0000 down to 127001. And as a result, we have compromise of the target machine. I hope that makes sense. I really do. I hope that makes some sense. So we are in. We've established that arc, so to speak. With proxy tunnel, we have established that arc, and we're in, guys. We are so in. What are we gonna do now? I don't know. There's this magician that goes by the name of Got Milk, and I used his PrivS guide for so long that I said, SYREN, enough is enough. And I condensed it down to the things that worked the most. This is even a more condensed version than that. But what we're going to do is go down our PrivS checklist. So we already have a valid TTY. We're in over SSH, right? Unless we have our bash. Yeah, no, we don't. We're good here. So we don't need to do any of that. We're not in as www data. But let's get all the compilation options on here. You'll notice I'm not running linps, okay? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, guys. I'm just saying, and you want to email challenges@offensivesecurity.com. That is challenges@offensive-security.com if you are concerned with any tools that might be banned or restricted on the examination. But we're not going to be using linps here. We're going to be doing totally manual enumeration. Heck, it might actually be allowed. I don't know. It's been a while. So, excuse me. What we're going to do is grab just pretty much everything that we can. So we have GCC is no. We have no ability to compile. Language accessibility, do we have Python? If there's a Python payload, no, we don't have that either. Oh no. Perl? If there's any Perl escalations, Perl payloads, we do have user Ben Perl, which is fantastic. What about the architecture? I like to run file on Ben Bash, and just to get a layout of the machine and put this on the back burner. This is an ELF 64-bit LSB executable. That is to specify with GCC, we would add -- no pi. No pi. And we're going to grab the kernel version. I'm going to clear this out. uname-a. Oops. uname-a. Linux SkyTower 3.2.0 through 4. That's the juice we want there. And we're going to cat etc -issue, and we're going to cat etc **release. Okay? And in here it just says he's modified the issue, it seems. The author has. Welcome to the SkyTower. Try to gain access to the flag.txt file in the root directory. That is our objective. So what we're going to do is see that this here is the pretty name Debian GNU Linux 7 running on Wheezy. And it is GNU rolling. Excellent. So that's it. That's all we needed. I just wanted to get that on the back burner. What if nothing comes through? What if, we go through every single command from GotMilk's guide and every single command from syrensecurity.io, Sirens guide, and nothing comes back? Well, then you can start looking at kernel payloads, okay? But in the meantime, in the meantime, I'm going to put 64 on here. Let's get down to some actual enumeration, shall we? Let's get down to some actual enumeration. So let's check out any world writable locations. Oh, I'm going to alias this out actually. I'm going to export for color. Export term to equal X term, 256-bit color, and exit this. And there we go. Now we got a nice pretty LL. So nothing in the temp directory. Can we check opt? Nothing in optional. Always check opt, man. I can't tell you how many times a developer will put something sensitive in the optional directory. It's just makes sense. var temp is where I like to live the most, because if there are cron jobs cleaning the system, you know, I find that my payloads get, you know, touch payload, I find that that payload will get cleaned and scraped less, from personal experience. But rather than touching the payload in /temp, which might have a cron job too, scrub out the temp directory every 5 minutes. So we've checked the world writables. Well, no, we have dev shim. And we have a temp fs with 0 bytes. Okay, so nothing really there. What else? Accounts. What the heck? What the heck? Okay, so that's gonna be later, right? That should stand out in the root fs /accounts. What is going on there? So let's continue. PSAOX and grep-i for root. -- color equals auto. What are we saying? We want to list out all processes, okay? And we're going to grep anywhere that anything that's running is root. Remember, we want priv-esc, and provide some color to see where we're going. It's a handy thing. udev, that's pretty juicy. I know some payloads that we've made for that. If that was outdated, I see cron running. MySQL, we need to check. We definitely need to check MySQL. Squid, that's already done its business, but it is running. Squid 3 as well. So what about netstat-antup? And sure enough, all that talk of tunneling, and what do we see? What is it? SSH on 127.0.0.1. And what are we abusing? Squid proxy on 3128, right? On world 3128 to establish a tunnel there. So are there anything else? Yeah, MySQL is here. So let's actually go ahead and first let's check the mail. No mail. Let's check Etsy. Is there anything in here created by a user? Nothing in particular. Any secret files? .secret? Oops, that would be like this. Any .secrets? Nope. What are the permissions on Etsy password? No write permissions, so we can't write out our own user. What's in the home directory? All right, we have Sarah and John. So I'm going to go over and nano my users file, and I'm going to put Sarah and John. We already have that, and William. Excellent. Let's check out Sarah. Permission denied. William. Permission denied. John. Okay, there we go. MySQL history. Okay, cat.mysql history. Show databases. Okay, but we don't have any creds in there, obviously. So what about a bash history? Aha! So I think we might have root unauthorized access. MySQL-user root-p root, and we're in. And we're in. We have root level compromise to the target or victim machine's database. So let's type show databases and see what kind of loot we can get. Show databases. SkyTech, that's the web application, so let's use that. Use SkyTech. Cha-ching, exactly, JX Crow, exactly. Show tables. Let's select all from login. And I'm going to touch creds here, nano creds, and I want to paste these in. Isn't that just so nice? I'm going to leave that open, actually. We're just going to exit out of this. Poor Sarah, am I right? Switch user to Sarah. You got the right idea. Actually, we're a real user. Can we sudo Here is John. Is John? Sorry, user John may not run sudo on SkyTower. Let's switch user to Sarah. Exactly, chat. Let's switch user, and we have. I hate this job. Poor Sarah. Poor Sarah, man. And I'm gonna type breakout. I'm just going to export that color again to keep the stream consistent, and the LL. And let's go to the home directory. So we have our bash history, MySQL history. Oh, let's get that bash history. Oh, wow. So, okay, let's go ahead and sudo-l. We definitely have sudo ability. Aha! Look at this. Would you look at this? So this is going to be particularly, this is going to be a rodeo. This is going to be a rodeo. What is something that we might be able to do with this? I'm going to blow this up. I want you guys to think here. You might get some Unix knowledge on this. In fact, we're going to drop this entirely. Unix knowledge time. Someone says cat the root flag, pagination. I like where you guys are going. What else? What's another, maybe less public? Cough, cough, hint, hint, wink, nudge, nudge. What is another type of attack where we have pseudo permissions and we can cat a file or read a file with any. There it is, Callie. Cat shadow password files. So I am going to go into my files. This is one of the purposes of the reason I create the files directory for whatever machine I'm attacking. I'm going to touch password, and I'm going to touch shadow. We'll bring that over for now. Clear that out. Bring this back down. And what we're going to do is do sudo bin cat, and it says we can do accounts. Now we can cat anything inside of accounts, but we're going to implement and chain a separate type of attack. Can anybody tell me what type of attack we're going to put in? Traversal strings, exactly. We're going to just, don't mind us. We're just going to traverse out of that, right? We really only need to traverse back one time. And then let's cat etc password. Let's grab the password information. And I'm going to nano the password file on our local machine. Just paste everything in. And you guessed it, we're going to, with set user ID or SUID sticky bit permissions, we're going to check the shadow file. And that's bling bling. That is just really good. So we're going to copy all of this shadow file. Excellent. In fact, let's make this even, clear it out. Nano shadow. Perfect. Just as it was, 100% copy and paste. That's all we've done. Now, what is a tool that, gosh, I don't even have to mention it. You already know. Someone in here pulling weight. Okay. Unshadow plus John. Unshadow plus John. This is takeaway number 2. Let's actually go away to this from this, and let's go back to our main takeaway concept. In the event that we can read files with SUID sticky bit permissions, or we'll just say SUID permissions, SUID or sudo permissions, we can always perform a unshadow attack. It just so happens that the unshadow binary is present on Kali Linux. We're gonna which unshadow, and there it is. So I'm gonna blow this down a little bit, and clear it out, clean that up, bring this up a little bit. In fact, we're just gonna bring it up all the way. And what we do is we type unshadow on our password file that we've exfiltrated from the target or victim machine. Then we're going to type our unshadow on our what? Shadow file. So unshadow the password and the shadow. And we're going to output that as output We'll just call it offsec.db. .db. And let's cat offsec.db now. So we've definitely unshadowed this file, unshadowed the shadow file. And we now have crackable hashes. We have two options at this point. At this point in our attack, we can utilize John, or we can utilize hashcat to crack these hashes. For the root user, obviously, is where we're going. For the root user, I'm just looking at the chat. First time chat from W Popper. Welcome, W Popper. Glad to have you on the stream. Every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you next week as well. But let's continue. So, exactly, Ganuez has it. Thank you, Ganuez. We're going to type John -- user equals root -- word list is equal to user share word list rocku.txt, and that's going to be on our output.db file, or that was actually offsec.db. Now. Let's let this run, and let's just kind of, let's think about this. Let's think about this. That's a VM. Maybe hashcat might not play nice. Yeah. I mean, try to hack is talking about GPU pass-through through a virtual machine, and they are absolutely correct. Hashcat might not play nice. But if you have a gaming computer or something like that, or a dedicated cracking machine that you could SSH into, that would be ideal. Then you could load this up into hashcat as well. But John is fine for this VM. So I want to tell you something. I have done this before. This is something that I have done before. And I can tell you it takes a lot of time. A lot of time, guys. A lot of time to crack this password. Why is that? Because John is CPU based. It's not GPU crack. It's CPU. It's all CPU power. So I'm going to pull the demonstrator card, and we're going to take the CTF route on this. Sudo -l and cat etc issue, and our goal is to get the root flag. Now, let's take a look at what we can do with this, because I have a feeling that flag might contain something useful. Sudo bencat on /root file system accounts // into the root directory on maybe .ssh id_rsa. No such file or directory. It was worth a try. What about, always go for those SSH keys, guys. That's pure loot. I don't know what else to tell you. Spray that across the network, my goodness. So, like a sprinkler, you can spray that stuff across networks and just gain access. But I am deviating because I am brain dead. We're going to cat the flag.txt. Congrats. Have a cold one to celebrate. Root password is the SkyTower. Switch user to root. The SkyTower. -- exit. And export term equal Linux. And clear. CD to root. And we exactly. Jester, thank you for reminding me. The true bling bling. Check. Ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. We have got it, guys. Congratulations. Great suggestions from the chat. We're going to drop the if config. We're going to drop the host name. We're going to drop the ID. And we're going to drop the shift print screen. And this would be included as evidence and proof in your formal report. Excellent. One last thing I want to cover is offensive security. If you are new to this, let's go to offensivesecurity.com. And you can see we actually have a new little landing page here. And these are all of our courses. Please come take our courses. I specialize in the web. I also do some BinExp. I also do some wireless. And I am an OSCP. But nonetheless, we have, look at this, our first blue teaming certification, for goodness sake. Yes, the red teamers can teach the blue teamers how to be blue teamers. It's actually one of the most effective methods. And the single most difficult cybersecurity certification of all time, the OSEE, the Grim Reaper of cybersecurity certifications. Exploit development 312, 301, Pen 300 is super hot right now. Super hot. Let's check out /events to see if anything fun is going on. OffSec events. Looks like we have the Jeremy Miller. So this one is already aired, which means you can just watch this now. It's not upcoming. It's done. Jeremy Miller, or Harbinger, or Jim O'Gordon, Chief Content and Strategy Officer, along with our Content Product Manager. So guys, I'm going to switch back my sources here. And I'm going to say thank you so much for being here. I'm going to read a couple more comments for maybe the next couple of minutes. And for anybody that is new, welcome to the Offensive Security stream. We are officially partnered with Twitch, and we're rocking this every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank you. Absolutely. My pleasure. Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget? How could I forget? Discord. Please look at Discord. Go into Discord right now to the official Offensive Security Discord, and I am going to copy over the notes. We have our takeaway concepts. My goodness, I almost forgot. So go into wire side text. That's underneath voice text. And we're going to call this SkyTower. And there it is. So if you would like the notes on that, then there it is. You have that. You can expand it, download it, and that is the solution to the SkyTower. One of my all-time favorite machines, taught us two very important concepts, chaining SQL injection into authentication bypass, along with SQL injection filtering evasion, and how we go about pushing past that evasion and bypassing the SQLI filtering evasion technique in and of itself. And we also learned quite a good deal about default creds on the MySQL database, proxy tunneling, the rainbow that I loved to demonstrate. I couldn't think of any better analogy, the pipe that we created. And if you would like my, Alfred says, can you share your PrivEsk checklist? Check out SirenSecurity.io, my friend. I got a lot more than a PrivEsk checklist on there. You can check it out. That's https SirenSecurity.io on port 443/blog. And you will be able to find all my updates there. This is recorded. AASM asks, is this recorded? This is entirely recorded, and it will be uploaded to YouTube sometime tonight. These are large streams, so give it some time to process. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you next week, as always. And have a good one. Ciao, ciao.